And we're back. Hello and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey, chapter 57. It is Tuesday, aka the Quadzilla workout, and I am feeling all right. My hip is all right. Knees are decent. Nothing too crazy. Anyways, I'm feeling decent. I'm looking forward to this workout. Try to go in and out. I got to go to the land of Kirkland after this, so got to go do that. But today's episode, as you probably seen from the title and or the thumbnail, because I don't know what the thumbnail is going to be, but still, it's finally time. After weeks, probably months of teasing it over and over and over and over and over again, it's finally time. Maybe it's because I don't have anything else to talk about, but still, it is the Quadzilla episode. Yes, I finally am going to discuss why I named it Quadzilla and a few other things about it. Today's workout, as you've seen by many weeks of me doing the exact same workout for the most part, we're on month 3 of the new split, so the Quadzilla was deemed for today, the Tuesday workout, predominantly the squat day, the hard squat day. Normally I would say I would be doing high weight squats, or like at least, you know, squatting some decent amount of weight, but today I'm gonna go lighter. I still feel a little bit of a hip issue, so I want to try to do some more pause squats, because the last time I did those it felt really good. So I'm just gonna do more of those, just you know, try to sit at the bottom for as much as I can, and then get that deep ass stretch, you know, get the blood in all the places, and then go back up. Just because last time I did it, it felt great, and I feel like it helps a lot. So I think that's what I'm gonna do this time, but most of the time it's about the same. The reason why I went with Quadzilla is because since it's the main squat, not the hack squat, which you can make a main squat, but I find the hack squat as more of an accessory. The regular squat being my main squat of the day, or the focus on this day, is the quads, as well as doing the adductors as well. Also just working the quads. The other one, you know, it's hamstring focused, so I have 2 movements for the hamstrings on the other day, so that's why. Yeah, the reason why I went with Quadzilla is because 1, I like Godzilla, so that was easy 1-to-1, and then I couldn't think of another good thing, and I remember I wanted to make it something Godzilla related, and then I was just like, oh, just Quadzilla. And then shout out Walter here for this one. We had the same brainwave where I was thinking it, and then he said it, and then I was like, that's it right there. That's why these Tuesdays will forever be known as the Quadzilla Tuesdays. And it works out. I do enjoy doing these. Although this is the day filled with, I would say, the most anxiety of like before lift, you know? I hate the term personally, but also it is the day where I'm like, all right, I gotta think about this. Gotta make sure everything's on point. Mostly because I've had multiple quad issues in the past. So because of the quad issues in my past, I've always been very careful about squatting and or doing any lower body stuff, because basically it has made it so my knees are shot, and also just in general, just the quad has never felt the same after the injury. I'll discuss it a little bit more most likely in the voiceover section, because I can go more in depth about it, because there's a whole story and background behind it. But for now, I will say this though, the quads, once they're hurt, they never feel the same, and I think that's for most people and most body parts. If once you hurt it, it just never feels the same. I could say that also. I'll tell this story before I go on the inside here. I did a hairline fracture to my wrist on my left hand right here. Like it was like right here. It did not feel the same for like a good 8-9 years. Now it's fine. Even when I was lifting for the first time with my brother, I always remember this wrist being an issue. But now, ever since I started doing more like forearm work and things like that, it has definitely gotten stronger and is back to what I would say is normal. But there was a good chunk of my life. The hairline fracture happened when I was 16, I think 16 or 17, and it did not feel the same until I was 27, 28. So it took 10 years really for it to really feel much better and normal again. With that being said though, I could have probably gotten it there sooner, but it always felt off no matter what. I feel like with most muscles, or at least most things like that, with like fractures and stuff, you can get it back almost the same, but not 100%. Like I would say this is like 95. It's almost the same. It's almost there. But like I always have that thought. It's the background of the possible injury being in there. So, but still, regardless, this is still relatively good to go. But the knees, you know, the quad, I pulled that muscle. I'll get into it in a little bit, but pulled that muscle, and ever since, just not the same no matter what what I do, it just doesn't feel 100% right. So the fair warning, be careful out there. Once you fuck it up, it's hard to bring it back. So especially like a pulled muscle. Ugh. Anyways, on that note, I will see you on the inside. Okay, so on this day, I start off with pause squats because, like I said, I want to get some blood flow into the area, so not going as heavy as I probably could, but it's also helping me focus on techniques, which is nice. So these have been very useful, you know, just getting down, staying there for like a second. You can see there, I try to do at least like a 1 Mississippi type of deal. But anyways, so to go back a little bit, I wanted to discuss the stories that led to some of my injuries, because there are 3 major ones that I got. One was the same one, but just re-aggravated. So I'll go back a little bit and talk about my wrist. So what happened there was I was at a football practice because I went to one and only one. I happened to land right on my wrist and somebody landed on top of me. And when that happened, I felt my wrist crack, and then I had to have a cast for the next 6 weeks, so I did not play football. It was my first real athletic thing that I tried to do back in the day, and it did not work out well. Me and sports don't go along too well, honestly. Like, real athletics, not the greatest at it. The second story requires a little bit more background knowledge, or at least a little bit more of a lead up. So, me and my brother used to go to the gym a lot, quite frequently in fact. We used to do a lot of weightlifting, and then we would do half an hour of cardio after all the weightlifting. Now, knowing what I know now, it's a little too much that we were doing. Yeah, we were exhausting ourselves to no end, but, you know, beginner / wanting to lose weight, we didn't care / we didn't know any better. With that being said, so we would end up doing that, right? That structure of going to the gym. And then one year my brother was like, oh, we're gonna have a soccer game for my work. It's gonna be like a soccer tournament for a day, and we can bring in friends and family. So he asked me to go with him, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it, why not? So one day after the gym, after doing our cardio, we ended up going to practice soccer afterwards. And while doing that, after running for the ball, I ended up tearing my quad. I believe it's my right one, because that one has never been the same since that happened, but that was a scary moment because I thought my knee was destroyed. I was like, no, my knee. So that led to me finding out that it wasn't my knee, thankfully, but I couldn't walk for like a good week, and then walking was just a mess for a little while there, and then like just even doing regular basic tasks was shit, basically. I remember that week because Miho had just come out not that long ago, so I ended up playing it while being basically bedridden. I couldn't go to work, I couldn't do anything, so that really sucked. So that ended up making it so squatting made it I was a little hesitant to do it. The issue was as well, besides overtraining, my squat technique was terrible. I can say that without a doubt. It was very bad. So because of the bad squat technique, plus the overtraining, plus just too much stress on it, just ruptured the quad. Thankfully, I didn't get any surgery on it, and it recovered, but it didn't recover all the way, obviously. And then when I came back to the gym in 2022, I was pushing it again. I didn't really have a structure when I was doing, per se. I hadn't really discovered the good part of YouTube fitness. Plus, as well, I was just pushing it with like cardio after doing some weightlifting and all that other jazz. So I was doing basically the same routine we had done before, and that was starting to get to me. And then one day I remember in my right quad, I heard a pop noise while I was doing the elliptical. And then after that, it was not okay for a little bit. I wouldn't say I was out for like a month, but I didn't do any lower body movements for a while. Like I think I'd stopped doing squats for like 4 months there, or any lower body movements, just because I was like, I'm not dealing with this again. That sucked. But then when I really went back, reassessed everything, Squat University helped, but I reassessed everything and got all of my squat technique down and made it way better, and I slowly brought everything back up. So now it's not the same. The quad will never feel the same set, but at the same time, I'm getting it as close as I humanly possibly can, and it has gotten stronger, which is the main thing. It sucked when it happened, and this is where I would say just be careful when you're at the gym. Be very careful, and don't be an idiot. That is the main thing I've learned as well. Don't be an idiot. Injuries while sucking are some of the best lesson givers. And we're back. Hello and welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercises not filmed. Hip abduction machine. Did do it. Did not skip it, but did not record it because when I went to go do them, I was going to do them right after pull-ups and leg raises, and then all of a sudden I saw a guy on it, so I was like, fuck. So then I decided, oh, let me just do my dead hangs now. And then when I was done with the dead hangs, the guy was gone. So I was like, oh, okay. I'd already put the camera away, so I just said, fuck it. I'm not pulling it out. I'm just doing it and leaving. Exercises skipped? None. I got everything in, thankfully. I am super tired right now. I am super hungry right now. I got to get out of here, go get a coffee, and go to the Kirkland Signature Land, and then go get a bunch of stuff there. But besides that, I guess I wanted to discuss this because I didn't get a chance to, actually, thinking about it. Now that I've officially made videos on all 4 of the days, like the nicknames I've given to all 4 days, I guess I'd explain as to why I have given them all 4 nicknames. Individually wise, I've said why I like doing the names, but for each day. But generally speaking, why would I want to nickname each day is because of multiple reasons, but the main reason is that it lightens it up. It's a little bit funner than just calling it upper 1 or lower 1, upper 2, lower 2. It seems that's boring and like not as creative. This lets my creative juices flow a little bit more and allows me to have a little bit of fun with it, generally speaking. But of course, I have to use the creative brain to make something that makes sense with the day, and or just something in general that I like doing stuff like that. And also it lets me color my program the way I want to and have fun with it. As well as a side note, it has actually been helpful for when I edit because I get to describe while editing what video it is, so then when I have to look back at something, I can easily look at what it is. I just use the initials of the day. Actually helps out a lot. But besides that, generally speaking, I feel like if you're not having fun and being creative with your programming, but also just generally in the gym, I've made an entire video about it right here. There's absolutely 0 point going to the gym if it's not going to be at least a little bit of fun, you know what I mean? So this is one of those, another way of just having a little bit of a laugh, a little bit of fun, you know, thinking about these things that are representative of who I am and all this other jazz. So why not have a little bit of fun with the names of it? You know, Quadzilla sounds ridiculous, and it's probably going to be a Rascal Apparel shirt in the future if it hasn't been already. Eventually it will be on a shirt, more likely than not, and it just seems like a fun thing. I don't know, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna go hit chest and shoulders, like, all right, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go do the Quadzilla workout, like, you know, it just sounds cooler. I'm gonna go do my shotgun dropkick workout, like, you know, like, what the fuck does that mean? It just sounds cool, and I like that a lot more than just being like, I'm gonna go do my lower 2, you know? It's so nerdy and yeah. So that's the main reason why I decided to name these a little bit, taking inspiration from Bald Omni-Man, who I believe names his days different things like horse kick, things like that. So that's just inspiration. Shout out Bald Omni-Man. But with that being said, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate any comment. I appreciate any like. Please like, subscribe, do everything that's possible on the YouTube algorithms, because of course there has to be. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will see you on the next one tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.